All right, so Tampa Bay Rays won that series against the Yankees, 2-1, but at least we saw some signs of life from the Yankees. Everything from the back-to-back home runs from Higashioka and DJ to the go-ahead home run at that time to Anthony Volpe. So two bench clearing scuffles in the same inning after an Abreu hit by pitch to Rosarena. So saw some life, saw some life. And I mean this one here. This is with Ian Hamilton had a brutal outing today, but he gave up 4 runs. He had a rough inning, but his ERA ballooned all the way up to 2.37. That just goes to show you how good of a year this guy's had. So, unfortunately, happened today, and it cost him the game. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to what's going on. Who do we got here? We got Sean Browning, Rose, Greg, Sean Browning. Who else we got? Greg. Let me ask him here. Well, remember Rodon had a setback. I mean, Boone took him out. He went 4 2/3 today. Boone took him out a little early, but unfortunately, Ian Hamilton had his worst outing today. So, but Billy's in the house. Clemenza. Yeah, I don't like relying solely on home runs. At least the guys that we got home runs from today were not necessarily home run hitters. So there was some good contact on the ball today from those guys. But yeah, Pereira and Volpe. Volpe's already taking charge in his spot. I think Pereira's going to find his spot too. Peraza will find the spot as well. So what's good, NFE? What is good? Yeah, Judge is stinking up the joint. He really is stinking up the joint, Rose. Yep. Stephen B. D-Rod. Welcome to the 161 finally, D-Rod. Welcome, man. Welcome. Officially, man. That's awesome. Yankee Mike's here, so Neil. No. Yeah, I'm gonna contest your 66 and 96. I don't care. There's still 30 games left. They're not gonna go I think 3-30 or whatever it is, 3-27. So yeah, I do want to contest it. I'll contest it here on screen, in person, wherever you want to contest it. So yeah, I do want to contest it. 66 and 96 is too weak of a record for this team for me. So yep, I'm contesting it. Shout out to 4Train. Mass is in the house. Then we Albert Abreu hit a Randy Rosarena. And by accident in the back, and then benches cleared. And then Rosarena, Abreu threw close to a hitter, and Rosarena stole third. Benches cleared again. And I think it was the 8th inning. So, yeah. Well, it sounds like Abreu was a little tiffed. And I think we're too far from a living, breathing reality. Personally, Sunil. Yeah, I'm saying he'll likely be scapegoated, but again, if he stays, don't be surprised. If Cashman stays, don't be surprised. So I know it'll make a lot of fans happy, but who we're going to replace them with that's going to do the jobs that Hal had Cashman doing and Hal had Boone doing. So, that's a tough situation. So I'm curious. I know a lot of fans want them gone. A lot of fans blame Boone and Cashman for everything, so it is what it is there. Yeah. Now we got 4 against the Detroit Tigers in Detroit. So we'll see how they can do there. We'll see what they can do there. And it depends on what team he has to manage, Michael Rosa. Remember that. If they give him a better team to manage, then maybe um, it'll be a different outcome. They need better personnel. He's had the weakest roster that this team has had in a while. So going to the last game of the series, it's like a nice same buckets, nice. And Yankee fans, we're real Yankee fans. We ride or die with them whether they go to bad. So yeah, and getting 2 to 4 game, it still doesn't justify the 66 and 96 um, record to me. I think they're gonna do better than I. By how much I don't know, but I don't think it's gonna be 66 and 96. So, and they won't always get 2 to 4 hits a game, and that's it. So stop defending. I can do whatever I want, Michael. Whatever I want. And where's the defending boot? He's had the weakest roster that they've had in a while. That's the truth. That's not defending him. That's true no matter who believes it or not. Okay? That's the thing. Nobody, no manager would have made this team a playoff team. No manager. None. So it's just not a defending boom thing. Yeah, it's probably in the mid 70s to wins. I think too, Zane Buckets. I think too. Well, Girardi overachieved by those stats, and he also had a much better roster. He had the core four. He had the biggest free agent class in the history of the Yankees. He had he had a much stronger roster. But all the stayed up in emergency due to the tropical storm. Well, that's what you have when when you have an idiot as a governor over there. Uh, yeah, they stayed up in emergency due to tropical storm. How many days off you think Tampa? I don't think they play in a dome, so I don't think they're gonna get much days off. Girardi, okay, Michael, please go to sleep. Girardi had the lesser roster. What planet are you living on? What lesser? Thanks for the laugh, dude. Who told you that one? Oh boy, wow. What channel did you find? Did you get that one from? Yeah, I don't think they're gonna win 20 of the next 33 to clinch 500. I'm with you there, Sunil, but 66 and 96, I don't buy. Out of my okay, Michael Ross. You must be talking from another channel, propaganda channel. Out of your mind. Girardi had a lesser roster. Oh, good lord! Please, please. Yeah, he definitely is trolling on behalf of another channel. Is that what you're doing, Mike? Hmm. Texas, the king. Texas, right here, sunny, the tough one. Appreciate you, man. You're the best. You're the man. Girardi had a better roster because they played. He also had a better roster. He had Jeter. He had the core four. He had Rivera. He had Posada. He had CC. He had Burnett, Teixeira, and Damas Marte, Swisher. He had a ton of guys. The roster was way better than this roster. Anybody that follows the team would, can confirm that. So you're either trolling or maybe you're trolling on behalf of another channel. Yankees. I was hoping the Yankees would beat the Rays too. Yeah, me too. Anthony, thank you, sir. Appreciate the kind words. You're a legend, Fortrain. He's a legend. Maz is a legend for zapping him. Like, Oh man, that's just straight up, lies and propaganda. So thank you for that, Mazza. You're the man, dude. You're a legend. My consigliere. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that too. Running Cali, running Texas up in here. We got the crew here. We got the crew. We got a few running the Boulder State too. That's right. Pull up the roster. Like, yeah, you can hold Boone accountable for certain things, but not everything. Girardi wouldn't have even taken this team to the playoffs. Neither would Joe Torre. Yeah, Yankees are losing series left and right, unfortunately. Well, this is true too. Not necessarily held accountable too. I mean, look at the litany of injuries we had. I know people, like to call that excuses, but Aaron Judge missed like 50 games. Stanton, Rodon, Nestor Cortez. We've had a litany of injuries. Um, you know, guys that should be contributing that are not because they're not playing because of injuries. So, you know, it is what it is, Lapari. He's trolling, but my man Maz is after him. Maz took care of business. Yeah, explore the Japan and the Korean market. If I'm the Yankees, I'd be, let Omar Minaya and Brian Sabian utilize their international talent evaluators skills and identify some guys here. Honestly, toppers, Yankee fans in Colorado, I love it. We got an Afine. We got an Afine too, man. I'm like, we got some Yankee fans in Colorado up in here. Yes, none of the exactly. Fortran couldn't have said it better. None of those guys would have been the saving grace for this team. It's a weak team. Nestor, I don't know when he's supposed to be back. I don't know, to be honest with you. Like they lost Nestor, they lost. I mean, they lost too many guys. You know, underperform. It's a combination of underperforming veterans, injuries, weak roster. Like it's all over the place. It's a rain when it's raining, it's pouring thing. It's pouring right now in Yankee land. So Rodon had a better game today. He went 4 2/3, 7 strikeouts. He had a rough first inning, but he settled down, and then he was dealing after that. But yeah, I have won a series in a month. That's about that's about right, CWA. That's about right. Yeah, placing the medical staff, analytics needs to be utilized and change. They need smarter people in the room. Like they need a lot of these, which I think intercepts some of the managing and the coaching, or cock blocks it, whatever you want to call it. But it's true. It's so true. Calling out this atrocious record is something. I'm drinking the Kool Aid of another channel. Who's saying that, Sunil? I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth either. That channel likes to put words in people's mouths. But nobody's saying that here. At least not me, Sunil. Calling out this atrocious record is justified. I just don't think it's going to be 66 and 96. I'm a math guy too, numbers guy by heart, like you. No, I definitely didn't accuse you of that, Sunil. You know that. Pari's got NASCAR in his blood. NASCAR in his blood, baby. Look at that. 212 down Arkansas River. Buckeye, man. Yeah, we pay Rodon all that money. Well, it's one. He's got 5 years left to prove us wrong, Yankee Mike. But he certainly did not get off to a good start. There's no doubt about that. podcast last night, Tatslin, and you talk about the concussion issue regarding Rizzo. Um, there should be a concussion protocol. I'm 100% in agreement with you guys there, Kyle. And I think Rizzo was not probably not diagnosed properly with post concussion syndrome or something. I think he lost like 40 games. Dude, they could have probably gotten to this earlier and gotten him better. So I'm glad that you guys talked about it on the podcast. I'm sorry that I missed the podcast too. But I'm glad you guys talked about it. It's an important subject, and I'm with you. There should be a concussion protocol. He does pitch better when he's pissed off, Rodon. And yeah, like after that first inning, he was pissed in the dugout. He was screaming and cursing and whatnot. And then after that, he was dealing after that. So, you know, yeah, I mean, I personally think the Yankees need to bring in two starting pitchers this offseason to replace, I think, Herman and Severino. Rodon, I mean, not Rodon, Herman. Cortez hasn't proven to be. He's only proven to be somewhat reliable when he's healthy. So, but like he's been very inconsistent this year. So, I'd be watching out for that. Yeah, yeah. Rodon hasn't been great CWE, but he did pitch well today. So, Fortran and Herman. When one came, yeah, I know. Kindly did it last year. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Alan Cashman purposely trying to tank. I don't think so, Wink the Man, because it'll cost them a boatload of money. At least Hal. It'll cost them a boatload of money. And I think Boone took maybe at a bit. I would have let him probably finish 5 and then took him out. But I mean, I get it why. But like, I get why he took him out. But Montez was a great pickup. Donaldson. Yeah. Who begged Paul? Begged Cashman to get Montez? We the fans did. He got the guy that fans begged him to get after they didn't get Castillo. So the fans should play a part in owning that one too. But Cashman, yeah, I mean, he has. I mean, if he stays, he's got to do much better in trades. And I don't put words in people's mouths, and I don't do the other channels do. I don't, and I didn't accuse you of doing that either. So I know you make your objective off your own vision. I know I've said this to you, your thoughts, guy. You put a lot of thought in that stuff, but unless you heard it from me accusing you of doing that, it didn't happen. So don't worry about that, Sunil. I won't do that. I won't do that. 73 and 88 probably looks like more of a representative record that I'm more comfortable with, Joel. They might lose 90 games. They might. Sonny went full bore trash can with. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Remember that? Oh, now we have a range, Chanel. 66, best case 71. I'm more comfortable with 71 and 91. You don't have to do that either to protect yourself. All right. I know what you're saying. I know you're referring to that. And again, that's not stuff I would be throwing in people's faces. If they don't go 66, 96, you're not going to hear a word from me. I'm not going to be like I told it. I don't do that. Again, this is not an ego-driven channel like some others. This is a facts-driven channel. So don't worry about that, dude. Don't worry about that, Sanu. I'm with you there, Aaron Nola, man. Aaron Nola, get his butt over here. Maybe that Japanese pitcher or Julio Urias, something like that. How many concussions do you have MLB in MLB? Huh. Yeah, not many concussions. Not many. Yep, the fans. Yep, begged for Rodon too. Yep. So fans, I mean, should be taking ownership of this type of stuff too. Moves that don't work. We wanted Bryce Harper. We did not get him. Well, well, I've always wondered why they didn't get Bryce Harper. Yep, we all wanted Rodon. Yep. So Cashman got the fans what they wanted. So again, I mean, it might be nice for fans to take ownership of bad moves too, instead of just strictly trashing Cashman for moves that don't work. Man, if they came back and got over 500, they'd have to go like, you know, 20, like almost 30-0. But um, you never know. I mean, I can see them getting over 500, but like getting to they're gonna have to go like 20. I don't know how many left. 30 games left. 32 games left. 20-12, something like that. Possible, but unlikely. But anything's possible. You never know. Never know, Lapari. How many changes will the Yankees make? Probably not as many as we'd like them to do. They never really seem to do as many things as we want them to do or move as quickly as we'd like them to move. So, you know, that's part of being on the unforgiving fan base. You know, maybe Pettit could work with Rodon. I mean, why not? That'd be a good idea. Um, the bullpen is definitely overworked, no doubt about it. We haven't got enough from our starters, so it's forcing Boone to overuse the bullpen. You know. Harper would have been awesome here, Stephen B. Yeah, one of the only fans who didn't want Bryce. No, I don't think you're wrong for it. I mean, it was just people wanted Harper and Machado, but that's what Yankee fans do, right? We want this, we want that, we want this. Like they want everything for the most part. So, and they get pissed off when they don't get it. No, that's part of the Yankee fan mantra too. As much as Yankee fans hate admitting, we are a spoiled fan base. Now, I mean, there's no need to trash like uh I mean, probably about Bryce Harper. So I mean, Bryce Harper's a great player. Yeah, but like yeah, but trashing Harper, or you're not trashing Cashman either, D. Right? Yes, no, you're not. No, you're not. Well, I mean, I think I can see Austin Wells coming up shortly. Um, they have to go 20-12 to be 82 and 80. Well, it's tough, man. That's a tough one. What a man? What's the natural? What does that mean? A man. What's your definition of a man? Like a tough guy? Like I always love, and I'm not saying you, but I love when people, do that as an alpha or act tough behind the screen and never do it to anybody's faces. So I always enjoy. I find it comical. But what's your definition? What do you mean the natural a man as a coach? I'm curious to know what you mean by that. Trade for Stanton. Yeah, yeah. No, they didn't give Harper an offer. That's right, Gary. Yeah, I think a concussion protocol in any uh, sport I think is a good idea. Never asked for Donaldson and Gallo. People ask for Gallo. People are begging for Gallo. You might not be in the we, but I know fans were begging for Gallo. Donaldson came out of friggin' nowhere. I didn't expect that one. But Gallo, people were like, oh my god, get the Goomba, get the Guido. Like I remember that. People were begging them to get Gallo. When they did, they were flipping out. When it didn't work out, they were blaming Cashman. It's just the logic is kind of comical. So doing well, Ollie. Yeah, Yankees dropped 7-4. Last three pitchers were bad. Yeah, I mean It's unfortunate having having a lack of options and a lack of healthy relievers too, or uh, uh, not exhausted relievers. So I wasn't 100% on Machado either. I'm with you there too, anything. Could have kept Geo, maybe they could have, but I mean, like, Twins didn't keep him, Angels didn't keep him. He's injured now. He's got a fractured pelvis, so like nobody's kept him. So even though he was pretty good here, pretty good here. Yep, fans are asking for Machado too. Yep. Yeah, Yankees. He never even talked to the Yankees. That's true. According to Harper himself, he said that they didn't even talk about him. No. Beltrana's coach since the Yankees. Like you said, a man. What do you mean by that? A man. That's a bravado. That's a what do you mean by that? Guys with experience. He also has guys with no experience. Well, Beltran's got experience. He was also one of the masterminds of the Astros cheating. And that's why he was fired day one as the Mets manager. He got hired, and then they fired him day one once that came out. So he's got baggage, unfortunately. Beltran, great player, no doubt about it. Borderline Hall of Famer, but apparently he was one of the masterminds of that cheating thing with the Astros. So that's unfortunate. Passed on Corey Seager. Yep. I mean, I'm not uh, too upset at that. I hope he's doing fine. It's funny, D-Rod. That's not all Yankee fans, but yeah, a lot of Yankee fans. Yep. When they get what they want, like Rodon, and it doesn't work out, they cry. They look for somebody to blame, like Cashman. It's comical. It's comical, and they don't own it. You know, no free agent signing. What I miss? Where did it go? Or trade by Cashman have gotten Yankees a World Series in 14 years. This reflects more on front office. Reflects on a lot of folks. Reflects on a lot of folks. They do have a developmental problem. The Rays have a better definitely. Yeah, they definitely have a better developmental and scouting department. Well, at the very least, developmental. So, and not off the top of my head, I don't know the Yankees record before and after Gallo, but nevertheless, he was terrible here. He was terrible here. Do I think the cheating scandal hurt his chances? I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Wink. Uh, I mean, it should. Like, if Pete Rose got banned forever from gambling as a manager, then like Jose Altuve and those guys and Beltran, their chances should be hurt too by the cheating scandal. 'Cause they cheated, other teams and other players and all that stuff. So yeah, I think it's only fair, right, Dev? That's good, Dev. Gotta blame players too. Yep. Players need to be held to account too. Yep. I would. I don't think they. I don't think Yankee fans would accept Hinch. He's also one of the Astros. You know, cheating culprits. So I don't think they would. But I don't know. Crazier things have happened. I mean, isn't he the Tigers manager right now? No. If the Yankees got Soto, Hater, and Snell, Yankee fans would be ecstatic. They would be absolutely ecstatic. You know, the farm system hasn't been deep for a while, Stephen B. They're deeper now. Like Volpe's up here. I think we'll see some more. Um, got some good relievers through the system too. A man is holding you accountable. A manager that makes it clear I'm not your friend. I'm here to do a job. We don't know if he does that or not. Just because he doesn't do it publicly doesn't mean he doesn't do it. But again, these are also grown men. He's not their babysitter. They're paid to do a job. So he can hold them accountable and they can still not do it. And he might not have the power to do that. So, but if that's your definition for a man, that's cool. Manager willing to bench you. Okay. I get it, the natural. Well, I mean, the version of a man too is trashing your players, obviously, politically. Um, and just doing right by people too. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of different definitions of man. But I get it. I get what you're saying. Yankee fans win the pitcher. Huh? Yeah, I mean, I get it. Texas has great oil, but it's a good wine. Got a lot of good steak too. A lot of good barbecue. Yankee fans wanted Castillo. Yes, they did. They also wanted Montez, but the asking price for Castillo was through the roof. So, mm, like like if he doesn't help them, like doesn't help them win a World Series, will it have been worth it? Maybe. It's funny because like if it doesn't help them win a World Series, I don't think the Mariners fans will call that trade a bust. They'll do that here in New York though. If Castillo was here and he didn't help the Yankees win the World Series, like it's kind of crazy. So repaid cash from Getz wasn't wanted by Yankee fans. What about Donaldson and Gallo? Well, Yankee fans were begging for Gallo. CWA. Donaldson came out of nowhere, but Montgomery's a pending free agent. Plus, he cannot be given a qualifying offer because he was traded to Texas mid-season, so they can get him back. Well, I don't know if he's willing to, but they can re-sign him without giving up any compensatory picks. But he's going to cost some money too. He's proven to be a reliable starter. No table grapes, yummies. Texas has some good meats, man. That's some really good freaking meats. Painkillers? I don't take any painkillers, D-Rod. I don't have to. Um, Thankfully, I don't have to take any of that stuff, D-Rod. So I just have to take a thing for blood pressure and one for cholesterol and like a baby aspirin. That's it. So thankfully, I don't have to take painkillers, D-Rod. I think the Red Sox traded Mookie Betts for Verdugo was a good idea. I think it was a win-win for both teams. I mean, Verdugo has outperformed Mookie Betts if you look at the stats, in a lot of categories. So I think they should re-sign Verdugo. If they don't, then. But I think it did what the Dodgers got. The Dodgers what they needed. Got the Red Sox what they needed. Unfortunately, I mean, like the Mookie Betts still has a decade left with the Dodgers. I mean, then Verdugo's going to be free agent after next season, so they better bring him back. Yeah, no doubt about that. Bellinger, I think a lot of folks wouldn't mind. Bellinger's going to cost probably 150 to 160, maybe even higher than that. This offseason, he's parlaying himself into a huge contract. Huge contract. They're already using Chris Bryant's contract as a measuring stick. So nah, I would pass on Otani. I would pass on. If I'm the Yankees, it would be wise for, and I said this, it'd be wise for them to be proactive and pretty quickly, like to act quickly, like get some free. As soon as free agency starts, jump on that shit. Get people here. You know what I mean? Cole, Nola, Rodon, Snell, Severino with Nestor. I would let Severino walk personally. I would have Nestor as my 5. Robertson maybe. Hader's a guy I would look at. I think he's gonna break the relief pitching contract. He's gonna break Edwin Diaz's record, but um, I think he'll be worth it. I think they're gonna try to get Otani, but like, where are they gonna play him? If he doesn't pitch, he doesn't have a position to play. He'll have DH against. They're gonna have to trade Stanton. I think they will. I think they'll be in the running. Yeah, but again, with an Otani injury, again, Tommy John as a pitcher takes a lot longer to recover from than Tommy John as a hitter. Bryce Harper has shown he can come back quickly as a hitter, but when you have somebody who's been known as a two-way guy, his two-way value has kind of been demolished here. So I don't think Cashman will do it. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Cashman, like when they in 2009 when free agency started, the minute they started, they were at CC's front door. He flew to California, went to CC's house, knocked on his front door, and they signed them on the spot. That's the type of proactive stuff I think we need to see. I mean, Cole Rodon, if you get Nola and Yamamoto from Japan, man, that's a freaking ridiculous get. If you get Yamamoto and Nola, I'm like, my God, it's ridiculous. Nice. Sunil's getting some good ones today. Make 2 and nice. That's a good lineup there, Sunil. Enjoy. Yanks not. I don't think they're going to go to Tony. I think I think he's going to go to Seattle. But they'll be involved to a capacity. Um, Cortez might get traded this offseason too. They might be down 3 starters, so they may have to get a third. Like he's got a shot. He's got 2 more seasons left before he's a free agent in 2026. So I what do you call it? He's got some trade value. CW. I know a lot of people want Otani. I'd pass on him personally. I'd go after Soto if I could, but instead of Otani. But I think you're right. It's most likely not happening. So if he does, yeah, he's a much better hitter than he is a pitcher anyway. So I would just focus on hitting if I am Otani. But the Angels asked him to get an MRI a month before this happened, and him and his agent turned it down and said it wasn't necessary. That news leaked yesterday. Yeah, Yankees send 6 scouts down to see Jung Ho Lee. Yep. Yep. If they got Jung Ho Lee, man, and they got Yamamoto, oh man, I'd be pretty pumped about that, man. Uh, they're gonna have to outbid Cohen. Yamamoto's an interest. He's only 24. He's gonna be 25, so he's gonna be a big get for any team. That's one guy from the Yankees. Like, if you're gonna let some of your young offensive players play that are on the cheap, then overpay for pitching. Pay a premium for good pitching. Get Yamamoto, get Nola, get Yamamoto, get freaking Julio Urias, get Yamamoto and Nola would be fantastic. So yeah, 7-4. Yamamoto is probably going to be. He's not going to cost as much as Rodon, but they would need. I mean, we're going to be down Severino and probably Herman, so they're going to need 2 starters, one way or the other. So he's not going to cost as much as Rodon, but he's going to probably. Yeah, I would agree, like $100 million, like a $60 or $100 million deal, and you give him an opt out in the deal too. Just get his ass over here. This is your one opportunity to outbid, you know, Cohen. You want to get back on the Yankee fans' good graces? Get this kid Yamamoto. Outbid Cohen. Get back on the good graces. Okay? Well, yeah, Cortez might be added to a Stanton deal. That's very possible, D-Rod. If I have to guess today, which of the young guys do you see as being plus starters, and which do you not see trends in? Plus start. I could see Pereira doing well. I could see Spencer Jones doing well. Tyler Hardman, maybe Ben Rice. I think Ben Rice is a guy. He's a top catching prospect that nobody's talking about. I'm doing a video on him this week. He's a guy, and they're already giving Austin Wells reps at first. He's a guy that they could play catcher and move Austin Wells to first base and have two pretty good left-handed hitters. So that are young. So I could see a handful of them. I could see a handful of them doing pretty well for 315. You know. Full with the chow. Fantastic steaks. Fantastic steaks. Like that's who I could see. And maybe one of their, like a Will Warren or Clinton Beater or a Thorpe, like one of their pitchers I could see panning out too. So Wells is still playing catcher for now, but he's also getting reps now first base. So he can be profiling first base as somebody who could replace Anthony Rizzo, who has one more year left on his deal. So yeah, Ben Rice has gone through three levels so far. Low A, high A, and now he's in double A. He hit his 12th home run today in double A. Ben Rice, a Dartmouth grad, is a college guy. It's like I keep saying, like, I think Spencer Jones might be called up either before or around the same time as Jason Dominguez. He's got 3 college years at Vanderbilt. He's more major league ready than I think Dominguez is. No. It's going to be interesting. They got a lot of outfield depth. A lot of outfield depth. Just like they were inundated with infield depth, now they got a lot of outfield depth in their farm. So, but this is this is definitely food for we could what do you call it? I should do a live stream. We could talk about all the prospects and who we think are going to go up and not and whatnot. So I'm going to be previewing this week. The MLB soon to be free agents. I'm going to preview Yamamoto. I'm going to preview Ben Rice. There's a couple of videos I'm going to do. So if there's anybody in here that's not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. That we don't miss these things. I want you to be in on these conversations. So yeah, OPS. Yeah. Did mention Volpe, future All-Star. Volpe's here now. 315. He's not longer a prospect. He's a starter here now. So that's why I didn't mention him. 315. He's a starter now. So I think he'll be a future All-Star. And I mean, his 18th home run today, like he's got a shot at being a top 3 rookie of the year. Now, I mean, I'm buying on Volpe, whether it's short or second base. Yeah, he's shown me enough. And he's a gamer too. He's a gamer. No, I'm glad. But now I think they need to give Peraza a fair shot, Pereira a fair shot, like consistent playing time across the board. But I will wrap this up, gang. It's been like 45 minutes now. But yeah, they need a combination of young players, affordable, controllable free agents, and some good star players. So I'm still picking Soto over Otani. But we'll see what happens with the rest of these guys. So I'll pick Soto over Bellinger too. But Bellinger. I mean, Bellinger's definitely going to take advantage of this good year he's having and get paid. He's going to get paid. Will Dominguez get I don't know. I don't think he will, but I don't know. Anything can happen. Volpe, Peraza, middle infield of the future. I'm with you there, Sean. Dominguez could. You never know. You never know. Pereira could, outdo it. Like Spencer Jones could. I don't know. It's going to be really, really interesting. So, but I do think Spencer Jones is up next year. Yeah. That way, and if you get somebody like Soto, then they don't have to get, get somebody like Soto. They don't have to bring back Bader. Then there's some flexibility. So, We do have a lot to look forward to. I'm with you 100. I'm with you there, 100%. 315. A lot of great young talent here. And Pereira so far is doing well. I can see Dominguez starting next year too, NFE, and Spencer Jones. So like they have some. Uh, this is a good problem to have. Um, you know, with their depth in the infield and their outfield. So they can use them in part trades. They can do a lot of things. It gives them some versatility. Also can give them a young nucleus. So Glaber's not very good with those types of fly balls. So do I think the Japanese first baseman will be posted? Maybe, but we might not need him by then. You see, they could have somebody else, Tyler Hardman. They could have other guys who can do the job. But I know they're going to look into him at the very least. That guy from Japan, but we're having to wait until 2025. That's a tough one. And nothing's happening right now with Chaparro. Like that's another thing too. He's not a good defender at first base, so the only option is, excuse me, not a good defender at third base. The only good option really is DH or first base for Chaparro. So, but yeah, we need the right hands with analytics. Maybe borrow some guys from Tampa, some from the Braves, from the Dodgers. Like, get some of those guys here. Get some of those guys here. No doubt about it. But yeah, analytics in the wrong hands can ruin a team. We need better hands. 100%. 100%. I would cut Bowers too. I don't know if Dominguez is ready personally, but not for majors. I think he'll be overwhelmed. But if they cut Bowers, I don't know. Like, where are they going to play Dominguez? They're not going to sit Bader for Dominguez. Like, where were they playing? We got Pereira here now who's going to give you reps. So where would you play Dominguez is the question, Bryce. You know what I mean? I would just wait for him for spring training and give him some more. Give him some looks. That's just me, Bryce. But I don't. He has no spot to play, and that's unfortunate. They're not going to sit Bader for Dominguez, Rob. They're not going to do that. But as much as some people want them to, I don't think that's going to be realistic, man. But yeah, let me let you guys and gals go. I thank you all for coming on. Appreciate the support as always. Great conversation. Love the debates. Keep it coming. Let's keep this keep doing it the right way and keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. So, but peace and love to all of you. Have a great weekend, gang. Appreciate your support, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.